There is no right time, there never was, and there never will be. If you are the kind of person जो कि वेट करता है सही समय का बिफोर स्टार्टिंग एनीथिंग, फिर चाहे वो फर्स्ट ऑफ द मंथ हो, फर्स्ट ऑफ द ईयर हो, मंडे हो, कोई स्पेसिफिक क्राइटेरिया हो कि ये इक्विपमेंट मिसिंग है, ये आएगा उसके बाद स्टार्ट करूंगा, देन देर इज अ वेरी हाई चांस कि इवन इफ तुम्हारे पास वो सब कुछ आ भी जाए, शायद तुम तब भी ना स्टार्ट करो, तुम तब एक नेक्स्ट चीज खोज लो कि अब ये नहीं है, ये आने में स्टार्ट होगी। या अगर तुमने स्टार्ट कर भी दिया तो तुम कभी उस चीज को कंटिन्यू नहीं करोगे, तुम उसको बीच में ही छोड़ दोगे। The reason why this thing happens, why we delay things, is because our brain simply likes thinking, because thinking is easier than doing. कोई भी काम करना, irrespective of जो भी तुम्हारा गोल हो, raw action is always difficult. It is difficult to show up every day, it is difficult to put in the work. But you know what is easier? Thinking. Thinking is easier. It is easy to think कि हाँ मैं करूँगा, I will do this maybe on this date, or maybe after I get this, or maybe after I have, or after I am comfortable. But you know what is actually happening? Somewhere in your mind तुमने जिस भी चीज को तुम स्टार्ट करने वाले हो, तुमने उसको लेबल कर दिया है as something which is hard. And anything which is hard, your brain won't do it. Not unless तुम्हारी लाइवलीहुड, तुम्हारा सर्वाइवल खतरे में है, या फिर तुम किसी बहुत, so your brain would automatically try to protect you from something that you see as hard. The problem you're doing here is simply you are so comfortable. Even the thought of doing the work is coming to you when you are actually in your comfort zone. And there is no need. Why would you want to do hard things? जब तुम आज जहां पर भी हो उस जगह से खुश हो, सेटिस्फाइड हो, तुम्हारी एज आई सेड तुम्हारी लाइवलीहुड तुम्हारे सर्वाइवल पे कोई खतरा नहीं है, so the brain dismisses the whole idea of taking action, not dismisses but kind of delays it, कि आज क्या जरूरत है, सब कुछ इतना बढ़िया चल तो रहा है, विल डू इट टुमारो, नेक्स्ट वीक, द फर्स्ट ऑफ द मंथ और द फर्स्ट ऑफ द ईयर, मे बी नेक्स्ट ईयर, मे बी जब मोटिवेशन आ जाए, मे बी जब मेरे पास कैमरा आ जाए। बट वट डू यू थिंक, कैसे जो ये अनफेमिलियरिटी वाला जो पार्ट है पूरा, कैसे जो तुम्हें चीज हार्ड लग रही है वो ठीक कैसे होगी? यू टेल योर सेल्फ इट इज नॉट द राइट टाइम इस टाइम पे। टेलिंग योर सेल्फ कि टाइम अभी ठीक नहीं है वोंट एवर, टेलिंग योर सेल्फ कि टाइम ठीक नहीं है वोंट एवर मेक यू, the actual way to do things, the actual way to get things done, or to not lose momentum while you are doing things, is by actually starting out when you feel it is very difficult to do the stuff, when you feel it is very difficult to do the thing. Because होता क्या है, I'll tell you by an example. एक बच्चा बोलना कैसे सीखता है? When he actually puts in the efforts to speak. वो गंदा बोलता है, उसके sentences incomplete होते हैं, he is not able to even form words. But it is only after countless trying that he figures out how to speak well, and then he learns speaking. Same is the case with a kid starting or learning how to walk and everything else. That same thing applies on you. If you feel you are not ready yet, if you feel the time is not right, then there won't ever be a right time for you to start. Because it is not unless you actually start, you would start figuring things out. अगर तुम्हारे सामने एक अनफेमिलियर गुफा है एंड तुम्हें उस गुफा को एक्सप्लोर करना है, हाउ डू यू थिंक that whole gufa would become familiar? By exploring, right? And what is exploring? It is actually raw action. So the more you keep telling yourself, the more you keep delaying the whole the more you keep delaying the part where you have to take action towards your goal because of whatever reasons. I told you so many reasons right now that we give ourselves. They're all just coping mechanisms. Why? Because we are so comfortable in our own flesh. We are so comfortable in the place we are in the place we are so comfortable in the place that we are at currently that जरूरत ही नहीं है ना काम करने की. The only way to get rid of it is by you to take real action. I'll tell you by my own example, this speaking thing, and it applies to you as well. I had this idea that I could be a great speaker because I have thoughts. These are everything I tell you, these are all my thoughts. These are things that I actually think through. I have the raw material and I could become a good speaker. I have always been told my whole life that how great I was when it comes to speaking, that I should consider doing debates and all those things. But I was always a bit uncertain. Even I delayed this whole YouTube thing, the whole content creation thing. I kept on delaying it until I finally came to a realization that enough is enough and I can't learn how to speak well not unless I start. And it is only after starting that I realized that yes, it was so true. I could have never learned how to speak well. I still don't know how to speak well even after almost 40 videos. But at least I know the problems that I have. At least I know that I use filler words, that I'm not able to complete my sentences, that I'm not able to stick to the point, that my mind diverts. I got to know so much about me because I took the actual step. If I would have kept on delaying it, I also gave myself this whole deadline of starting on 1st January. But when did I actually start? 28th of February, when I was literally fed up with myself. When actually my whole livelihood, my existence was at threat. The whole idea that I had about myself, when that was at threat, when I was being challenged by my own self, when I could not even look in the mirror because I kind of did not feel certain about who I was. Who was I even looking at? And so I had to take this action to prove to myself that yes, I'm still that man. I'm still that man who thinks very highly of himself and he's capable to perform. Yes, anything new that you start, it would be a humiliation ritual. Yes, you would be humiliated. Yes, you would do things wrong. Yes, you would mess up. But that is the whole learning curve. If you don't begin, you won't ever know what to improve on. There is a very big difference in watching cooking videos and actually cooking. There is a very big difference in just watching or reading or learning about things and actually doing them. And you only get to know them after you actually start taking raw action. So, yes, if you are waiting for the right time, then there was never a right time, there never was, there never will be.